want to go back to some of the testimony here of Mr. Black, where you acknowledged, as has Mr. Tennant, that the CIA fell short, using your words, in not informing the Department of State that you had identified two al-Qaeda men, and these were the two, al-Mihdhar and al-Hazmi, who were hijackers on Flight 77. These were two people you had identified back in January of 2000 and in March of 2000. There's another problem here beside failing to notify the State Department, and that was failure to notify the FBI. The FBI says that it did not know of key bits of information, that a visa had been issued to one of them and that the other one had actually entered the United States until August of 2001.
I read from the Office of the Inspector General report, which was publicly released in June 2006. In this section of the chapter, there were at least 5 opportunities for the FBI to have learned about Khalid al-Mihdhar and Nawaf al-Hazmi, including their connection to the purported mastermind of the Cole attack and their presence in the United States well before September 11 attacks. The report is the FBI's Office of the Inspector General related to the September 11th attacks. Summary of the 5 opportunities for the FBI to learn about al-Mihdhar and al-Hazmi. In summary, there were at least 5 opportunities for the FBI to have learned about Khalid al-Mihdhar and Nawaf al-Hazmi, including their connection to the purported mastermind of the Cole attack and their presence in the United States well before the September 11 attacks. First, in early 2000, the FBI received the NSA information about Khalid al-Mihdhar's planned travel to Malaysia. Although the CIA informed the FBI of the Malaysia meetings in January of 2000, the existence of al-Mihdhar's U.S. visa and the surveillance photographs were not disclosed to the FBI. FBI detailees at the Counterterrorism Center read the pertinent CIA cable traffic with this information and drafted a Central Intelligence Report to pass this information to the FBI. But the Central Intelligence Report was not released to the FBI, purportedly at the direction of a CIA supervisor, and the FBI did not learn of this critical information until August of 2001. In addition to March 2000, a CIA officer discovered that al-Hazmi had traveled to the United States in January 2000, but no one from the CIA shared this information with the FBI. Second, February of 2000, Khalid al-Mihdhar and Nawaf al-Hazmi moved to San Diego, where they were aided in finding a place to live by the former subject of an FBI's preliminary inquiry. In May 2000, Nawaf al-Hazmi and Khalid al-Mihdhar moved in with the FBI asset in San Diego, California. However, the FBI did not learn of this information until after the September 11 attacks. Third, in early January 2001, the CIA showed the Kuala Lumpur surveillance photographs to a joint CIA-FBI source, and the source stated that Khalid was in one of the photographs. This identification could have led the FBI to focus on who else was at the Malaysia meetings with Khalid, the purported mastermind of the USS Cole attacks, which could have led the FBI to identify and locate Khalid al-Mihdhar. However, we concluded that despite the CIA's assertions, the source's identification of Khalid in these photographs was not known by the FBI. Fourth, in May and June 2001, due to concerns about possible terrorist activities, CIA employees were again examining the Kuala Lumpur photographs. Al-Hazmi and al-Mihdhar's travel, including Nawaf al-Hazmi's travel to Los Angeles, and the identification of Khalid in the Kuala Lumpur photographs. At the same time, these CIA employees were discussing with FBI employees the Cole investigation and the Kuala Lumpur photographs. Yet, despite these interactions between the two agencies on the telephone, in emails, and in a June 11 meeting in New York, the FBI never was informed of the critical intelligence information that Khalid was identified in the Kuala Lumpur photographs with Mihdhar, and that al-Hazmi had traveled to the United States. Again, this information could have led the FBI to initiate a search for Nawaf al-Hazmi and Khalid al-Mihdhar earlier than it eventually did. Fifth, July 2001, a former bin Laden unit deputy chief who was working in ITOS in FBI headquarters confirmed that Khalid had been identified in the Kuala Lumpur photographs and wrote in an email to counterterrorism center managers that this information needed to be sent in a central intelligence report to the FBI. However, this information was not sent in a central intelligence report to the FBI until several weeks later. On August 22nd, 2001, an FBI employee detailed to the Counterterrorism Center notified the FBI that Khalid al-Mihdhar had entered the United States on July 4th, 2001. The FBI began an intelligence investigation to locate al-Mihdhar and al-Hazmi. However, the FBI assigned few resources to the investigation and little urgency was given to the investigation. The FBI was not close to locating al-Mihdhar and al-Hazmi before they participated in the September 11th attacks.